Hi, boys and girls. This is Mr. Woods. Today we're working on lessons 9.1 and 9.2 in the Ready Mathematics book. Let's go forward. So our lesson objectives today is to analyze word problems to determine the operation needed to solve them, apply the use of fact families as a strategy to solve one-step problems and build number sense, and to interpret models that represent a one-step problem with two-digit numbers. First, we're going to do a warm-up. It says here, solve the problem, show your work. Let's read through this here. Sharon has 8 seashells. She finds some more at the beach. Now she has 15 seashells. How many seashells does Shannon find? What I want you to do is to pause the video. I want you to go through and see if you can pull out the information that you need to solve this problem and then work the problem. I'll go ahead and pause. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you've pulled out the appropriate information. One of the things that if you recall, was we come through and we reread it, and we read it first through one time, and then we reread it to circle or underline key detailed information. So here we go. Sharon has 8 seashells. So she has 8 seashells. Okay. And then it says she finds some more at the beach. So I'm going to say find some more. I'm just going to, so that's going, so she's adding to what she has. So I'm going to put a plus there because we're adding at the beach. Now she has 15. Okay, so now she has 15. So that's her whole right now. How many seashells does Shannon find? So this is where she's finding it. We're trying to find how many does Shannon find. Well, if you remember, I like creating a number bond because that helps just identify the pieces in the right way. So right now, Shannon, it says here, she has 15 now. So that's telling me that that's what her whole is right now. Remember, this is the whole, and this is a part, and this is a part, because we add the two parts to get that whole. All right, so we're going to write 15 here. She had at one time 8 seashells, so I'm going to put 8 here. So, and this is unknown. So how do we write this out? We can, there's many different ways to do this, but let's just take a look at this. So we're going to say that she had 8. She added some more, which is unknown, and that is equal to 15. Well, there's so many different ways. We can use the standard algorithm. We can do a number line. Why don't we do a number line? Let's just do that. It's an open number line, so I'm going to do this. I like this. We have our whole, which is the 15, which is the end here, so that's going to be 15. And we start out with 8. Okay. Now, can we add 10 to that? Well, 10 plus 8 is 18, so that's more than 15. No. So what we have to do is we have to go, well, let's make a 10. So 8, and we're going to do a little hop. Wait, let's redo that hop. Make it bigger. There's that hop. And let's just say that's going to be 10. We're making a 10. So 8 plus what is equal to 10? And that's 2. Now we've got to make this hop over to 15. So 10 plus what is equal to 15? Well, 10 plus 5. Okay, and remember, we're adding these two numbers up there, so 2 plus 5 is equal to 7. So over here, so we would just want to type out or write out Shannon finds 7 seashells. Remember, that's how we write out the answer. It's not just 7. Now, what's a different way to do this? Well, there's a standard algorithm. Let's just take a look at that. So we have 15. Now this is going to be a subtraction. So we're going to subtract that 8. Okay. And but wait a minute, you're going, whoa, wait a minute. That's like too hard because we have 5 ones minus 8 ones. Let's break this down a little bit differently. Let's do it this way, okay? So instead of saying 8 minus 5, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a couple of different steps here. So 15 minus 5 first, because that 8 is 5 and 3, okay? So 15 minus, that's going to be 10, all right? And then we're going to go over here. We're going to take that 10 and we're going to subtract 3 from that. So if you remember, 10 minus 3, you can count down. You hold up 10 fingers and take 3 away. And then how many do you have left up? Well, you have 7. So 7. And then you can write out Shannon finds 7 seashells. Oops. I'm going to correct this over here. Shannon finds 7 seashells. Okay. This is just your warm-up. This is just to get you ready and prep. There's so many different ways to work on your math here and figure it out. We could have done 10 rods and ones, so many different ways. So let's go to the next sheet. Here we go. We're on page 213 in your math book. Let's read through the problem first, and then we'll circle and underline afterwards. So Mr. Soto's students can trade 75 milk caps for school supplies. They have 49 milk caps. How many more do they need to get to 75? So what do you think? Just think about it. I want you to, try to write down what you think about this, or just take a moment. Okay. So let's go back through. Mr. Soto's students can trade 75 milk caps for school supplies. Okay, so he can trade 75 milk caps for school supplies. They have 49 milk caps. Okay, how many more do they need to get to 75? Need to get to 75. I'm just underlining that. So the whole here, and again, if we go back and we create that number bond, so the whole we have is 75. That's what they want to get to. And let's just put that up here, 75. They have 49, so that's part of the problem here. So they have 49, right? And how many do they need to get to here? Well, let's take a look at that. And again, I think that this one might be best if we look at it maybe with we can do a fact family. There's just so many different ways. So let's take a look at this here. So we have 49, okay? And if we add 1, that's equal to 50. So that's just getting us to 50, right? And then so if we come down here, we say 50, and we want to get to 75. So we're going to have to add 20 to that. So 20. And I want to erase this 1 up here because I want to get my ones all lined up. So hold on a second. So that's 49 plus 1 is 50. 50 plus 20 is equal to, well, remember, if we're counting by tens, we go 50, 60, 70, right? So that's going to be 70. And then we're going to go 70 plus what to get to 75? Well, we're going to add 5. That equals 75. So what do we have to add? Well, we add up the ones here. That's going to give us 6. And then we bring this tens down because there's no other tens. So it's going to be 26. They need 26 more caps. And let's put it over here. Let's verify that using what? An open number line. Let's take a look. Okay. So again, and and we can still use this information here. So let's take a look. So we're going to start with 49 here. And we're going to 75. Now 49 to 50, do a hop. That's just one. I'm going to put down 50. Now we can't add 30 because that'll take us, or 3 tens, that'll take us to 80. So but we can add, that's right, 2 tens, which is 20. And it gets us to 70. And then there's our last hop, 70 to 75. We're going to add 5. Notice that we have the same numbers, 1, 20, and 5. So we did this 2 different ways using 2 different models. All right, boys and girls, let's move on to page 214. It says here, look back. How many more milk caps does the class need? Well, if you look back, it says right here, 26. So let's plug that number in. 26. Look ahead. Marta has 38 stickers. Tia gives her more stickers. Now Marta has 93 stickers. How many stickers does Tia give to Marta? Well, let's go back and let's circle that information. You take a moment and see if you can figure it out. Okay, let's reread. Marta has 38 stickers, so she has 38 stickers. Tia gives her more stickers, so here we go. So we don't know how many stickers. So she's given her more, so she's adding more to Marta's pile of stickers. Now Marta has 93. There we go. Now I say now. How many stickers does Tia give to Marta? So again, that 93, that's the whole. And then the 38 is a part. What's the missing part right here? What is that missing part? Well, there's different ways to do it. You can use equations, you can use other things, but let's take a look here. So what we can do, and I would say, again, let's work out, we can work out a number line, because you can use a model to complete the model. So we're trying to complete this model. So here we go. 93 is the whole. And over here, we start out with 38. And we want to get to 93. So there's different ways we can do it. We can do one big jump. So if we have 3 tens to get to 9 tens, how many tens do you need to add? Well, hold up 3 fingers, and each one is a 10, okay? And we want to make 9 tens. So let's put up one more finger. So that's going to be 1 10. It's just 4 tens, plus 2 tens is 5 tens, plus 3 tens is 6 tens, plus 7 tens. Okay, so here we go. We keep on adding them up. We start putting up fingers. We're going to go, well, wait a minute. We need 6 more tens. Let's just do that big hop. 6 more tens to get to 9 tens, which is 6 tens is equal to 60, right? And that brings us up to 90 right here. And then how many to go from 90 to 93? Oh, wait a minute. Ah, Mr. Woods, look at that. I made a mistake. And you know what? I'm not gonna erase that because I'm gonna learn from our mistakes. I made a mistake. I added too many tens because I looked at that and I went, wait a minute, if I add 6 tens, that'll make 90. Oh, wait a minute. It would have been 98. So I was just looking at the tens. Hold on a moment. Let's just redo that. Sorry, boys and girls. See, even when you've been doing this for a while, you can still make mistakes. But then I saw that my answer was going to be wrong. Oh, so here we go. So 93 and 38. So remember I was talking about 6 tenths. If I added 6 tenths to make 9 tenths, that would make it so this is 9, it would be 98. That would be way over here. So I can only add 5 tenths. So 5 tenths plus 3 tenths is equal to 8 tenths. So I can go 88. Here we go. So 88. So I'm adding 5 tenths, which is equal to 50. Right? And that's 88. And then 88 to 93. Just count on 88 and use your fingers. 89, 90, 91, 92, 93. Oh, that's only a 5 hop. So here we go. I'm going to do a bump. 5. So 50 plus 5 is equal to 55. Now, how do we verify that? Well, let's take a look. Look up over here in B right here. You can also use equations to show how many stickers to give. Tia gives Marta. Complete the equations. So if I have 38 plus 55, but wait a minute, it's kind of difficult to do it that way. So I'm going to rewrite it. Let's do 38 and 55. All right. Okay. So let's take a look here. I'm going to change my color so it doesn't, so you can see it's different here. So 8 plus 5. Well, that's 13. So we're going to do a partial sum here. So there's 13. We've already used these numbers right here. So now we're going to add up these tens here. There's 3 and 5. That's 8. And 0 ones because we already added up the ones. So we're going to add that up. So 3 and then 8 plus 1 is 9, 93. And that's what we get right here. So we validated that. All right, let's go over here. And we're going to subtract. We're going to do subtraction. So I have 93 minus 38. And remember how we were regrouping the tens? So we're taking those 10 rods and making 10 ones with that. This is kind of the same thing that I'm going to show you here. Again, I'm going to use a different color so we can take a look at this. Also, notice, I didn't do it before. Let me do a better job of that. I'm going to separate our ones place value from our tens place value so that you can understand where the ones are and where the tens are. Okay, we have 93 minus 38. When the bottom number right here in the ones column, or even in the tens, but right now we're looking at the ones column, the ones place value is larger than the top number, we have to regroup. That means is I'm going to take one of these tens away, okay, and I'm going to add it over here as so that it makes that a 13 ones. So 13 ones minus 8 ones, you can count backwards. So we go 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. Oh, next number is 8. Or we can count on from 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's still 5. So let me put my 5 in there. So there's 5. Okay. Now, so that was 13 minus 8 is 5 because we regrouped that right here. So now we have 8 minus 3. And that's going to be 5 here. Look at that. When we look at her, so I'm going to put 55 right here. So if we look at the number bond, so 38 plus 55 equals 93. 38 plus 55 is equal to 93. 93 minus 38 is equal to 55. See how we did that? We were able to validate this model here, this number bond. We were able to validate all of this. We validated this and this using standard algorithms over here. You need to get used to looking at that and working out the algorithms. Okay, on page 215, so this is where it says here, think about what you know about word problems. Fill in each box. Use words, numbers, and pictures. Show as many ideas as you can. It says, what is it? What is a model? So draw a model here. What I know about it. What do you know? Could you be using a number line? Could you be using a number bond? And then show examples of what that model is going to be. Okay. I'm still on page 215. It says here, Elena has 43 marbles. She gives 17 marbles to her friend. Does the model at the right help you find how many marbles she has left? Why or why not? Okay, so see what this looks like? Remember how, it's a number bond no matter what direction it's turned. Let me show you this here. Now, it says, let's take a look at this real quick. I want to help you set this one up because I want you to have a deeper understanding of this. It says Elena has 43 marbles. She gives 17 marbles to her friend. So she's given up. So she's taking away 17 marbles from here. So that's going to be a subtraction, right? So this is your whole right here. Remember the whole over here in the number bond is right here. But if you turn this around, here is the whole right here, and this is the part in part. So you have to see how that number bond is. See how it's linking right there? So 43 should be right here, and 17 should be right here. Explain why this model will not work. I gave you a big hint here. You should be able to do this. Let's move on to page 216. Again, these are practice problems that you should do at home. Okay, Drew needs 55 barcodes to enter a contest. He has 32 barcodes. How many more barcodes does he need to get to 55? Okay, remember, so he needs to get there, so that's the whole. And this is a part right here. So if you draw your number bond, there we go. You draw the number bond, the whole goes at the top, and the part in part. And you should be able to write out an equation or do your open number line to figure it out. Remember, the whole goes at the right side, and the part that you do have goes at the left. So this is your whole, and this is your part. And this will be, whatever this is going to be your other part to find that whole. Okay. All right, let's move on. Okay, so now we're into lesson 9.2 on page 217. This is a different type of problem. You may or may not have seen this before. You should have seen something very similar to it. And let's take a look. So in the book, it shows picture it with a bar model on page 218. But I want you to look at page 217 first. Let's take a look at this. And remember, we're looking at fact families. We can have fact families with two-digit numbers as well. It says bar model, number bonds. I like the number bonds. Remember that? So let's take a look here. I'm going to draw a number bond because I know that's what I want to use right now to solve this. Okay? Remember, this is the whole. This is a part. I'll label that whole, part, and part. All right, let's take a look. Let's read through this. Todd plays a game. The table shows his points. Level 1. Oh, gosh, he didn't keep track of that. Level 2. He kept track of it, so he has 16 points. He has a total of 55 points. That's his whole. How many points does Todd get in level 1? So he didn't record it, but he knows what the total points are, or it got lost, or somehow or another he doesn't have access to level 1 points. Let's reread this here. Todd plays a game. The table shows his points. So level 1, okay, that's a part. Level 2, that's a part. Total, that's the whole. That total is the whole piece, okay, or the sum. However you want to work it. All right, so let's fill out this number box. So we know the total is 55, so that's the whole. 55. We know one of the parts is 16. And here's our unknown. Again, we can write it out as an equation. So 16 plus something equals 55. You know, I've been really liking those number lines, those upward number lines. So let's work that out. Oops. Let's draw a straighter line here. So here's my number line. Notice I put the, there we go. So what's my whole? Well, it's 55. So I'll put that on the right here. So that's 55. That's where we're going to. We're starting from, which is one of the parts, from 16. And so what do we need to do? So I'm going to show you two different ways to use this number line. The first way is that we're going to make a 10. Okay, so the next 10 up. So if we're not looking at this one right here, this 110 here, if we have 6, to make a 10, we have to add how many? 4. And what that'll do is that's going to make us, so if I do a bump here, so if I add 4 to 16, 16, and then count on 17, 18, 19, 20, so it gets me to 20. Okay. And then if I, so can I go to 5 tens? Yes, I can, because I have 0 ones here and I have 5 there. So let's go from 2 tens to 5 tens. So that's going to be a jump of 3 tens or 30. Okay, that's going to get me to 50. And then to go from 50 to 55 is 5 ones. So here we go. Oops, I forgot to put my 4 over here. We add all of this together. Okay. Now, we can line it up or whatever, but here's another thing that we can do. Go, wait a minute, there's no ones here, and these two sets, or this set of ones and this set of ones does not equal more than 10. If they equal 10, we just go, oh, well, wait a minute. If that was a 5 and a 5, it would be 10 plus 1 10 plus 3 tens is 4 tens, but it's not. So 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 3 tens is going to be, we just add that to that 0, so it's going to be 39. But wait, there's more. Let's validate it. Let's do it a little bit different way. So instead of making it 10, let's see, how can we get as close to that 55 without going over? Well, we can't. So we have 110 here, and we have 5 tens here. We're going, well, wait a minute, we're going to have 4 tens, but since this 6 here, 6 ones is greater than 5 ones, we can't do that because that would make it 56. So we have to go one lower. So we can add 3 tens to make 4 tens. So that's going to be 4 tens. So 3 tens, that's going to be a jump of, okay, that's going to, oh, wait a minute. See, that's going to be a jump, if I, 46. So it's going to be before 50. So here we go. So I'm doing this jump. I'm adding 3 tens to that. So that's going to be 46, or 4 makes 4 tens, so 46. So that's 3 tens, that's 30. And then I want to go from 46 to 55. Count on. We can make another 50. Here, well, let's just do that. 46, 30 plus 46 to 50. So that's going to be 4. And then that other last bump of 5. There we go. It's 5. Wait a minute. We have 30 plus 4 plus 5. Here's 30 plus 4 plus 5. Same, we got the same value, so it still equals 39. Multiple ways to do it. Let's continue on page 219. So on page 219, oops, hold on a second. Got to get everything else lined up over here. Let's take a look. It says here, now you will use the problem from the previous page to help you understand how to model the word problems. Look at the second model it. Well, I'm not going to look at that here so much, but let's just go back here. So I'm going to go ahead and model this again here. So we have 55, so it would be 55 minus 16. That equals a number, okay? We already know that that other number is 39, so I'm just going to put in here 39, okay? Because if we have, I'll show you that here in a moment. So let's take a look here. 55 minus 16, so we have 55 minus 16 is equal to 39. I want to show you that about how regrouping and such, so let's just do this. So 55 minus 16. I want to separate my place values, so my 1's place value from my 10's place value. And notice that the 1's in the bottom number is greater than the top number. What that means is that we need to regroup. So where do I get more 1's? Well, I take it off this 10 here. So I take this 10, okay, and I'm going to make that a 4. I'm going to add that 10 right over here to make this 15. So I have 15 minus 6. So I can count on from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, so that's going to be 9. So here we go, 9. 4 minus 1 is 39. Again, that's the standard algorithm. Now, oh gosh, it says here, show how to solve the problem from the previous page on an open number line, and then write your answer. I showed you 2 ways right here. I want you to try it. Go ahead and pause the video while you do that. Okay, we're still on page 219. So it says here, how did you make your number line in problem 2? Well, again, you can go back and you can explain that. It says here, though, what is another way to find the answer? Well, what was that again? So we had 55 minus 16. All right. Let's do this as regrouping, but using 10s. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 55, right? Let's take a look again. There's 55 and it's minus 16. And so it's like, well, wait a minute. Now I need to minus 110 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 16 equals something. But wait, I have more 1's here than theirs, which means I have to make a 10 into 10 1's. Let's rewrite. 1, 10, 2 10's, 3 10's, 4 10's, and then this 5 10's. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I have to add in these other 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 1, 10, or 16, which is 1, 10, 1, and then 6 1's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that equals. Okay, so now we were able to do this. One thing I want to point out is that, remember, there's 5 1's plus 5 1's, and that is a 10. Okay, we're just making that 10 into 5 1's. All right, so I'm going to take away these 5 here, and those 5 there, 1's, and then this 1, and then I'm going to take away that 1. So we have the 1's taken care of. I need to take away 1 10 and 1 10. Now I just add up the 10's and the 1's. So I have 1, 2, 3 10's. And let's count the 1's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 39. Same answer. So there's multiple ways to validate your answer. There's multiple ways to come up with an answer to complete these problems. I want you to find the strategy and the model that works for you. All right, we're on page 220. Let's take a look at this. It says, use what you just learned to solve these problems. Number line, standard algorithm, and using 10 rods and 1 units. So do what works best for you. Matt has 72 sports cards. Then he buys more cards. Now he has 90 cards. How many more cards does Matt buy? Show your work. I want you to take a moment, pause the video, and try to work and figure out what's the essential information, how to organize it, and solve the problem. Okay, let's take a look at this here. Matt has 72 sports cards, so he has that right now. Then he buys more cards. Ooh, it doesn't tell us how many more, but we know he's adding to his collection. So 72 plus something. Now he has 90 cards. That's the whole he has. I write whole over here. How many more cards does Matt buy? I'm just going to underline that. Okay. Number bond, just to organize our information so that we can understand that there's fact families here that we're working with. Okay, so what's our whole? Our whole is 90. It goes at the top here. So we have 90. He had 72, and before he has 90, he had 72, then he added more to it. So we know he had 72. That's a part. And here's another part, which is unknown, and this is the whole. Okay, number bond helps us organize the data, but now we want to go and solve this problem. I'm going to first do it with a standard algorithm, okay? And we're going to regroup that standard algorithm. So I start out with 90, and I'm going to subtract 72 from that. I go back, and I want to draw a line between my 10s and 1s. That just makes it so that when we're regrouping, you don't get confused about what's going on. The number in the ones column is larger than the number, or in the bottom number is larger than the number in the top number. What that means is I need to add some more ones over here. So I take it away from the tens column. I make that an 8 because that was 9 tens. Now it's only 8 tens because I'm moving one of those tens over here. So I put a 1 here to make that a 10. 10 minus 2. Count backwards. 10, 9, oh, next number is 8. So we have 8. 8 minus 7 is 18. So, but we're still not finished, so we have to say Matt buys 18 cards. That's the answer right here. But wait, can we do it another way? Yes, let's do it another way. So let's take a look here. How many did he buy? So let's take a look here. I want to do something a little bit different here. So let's say he has 90. 1, 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens, 7 tens, 8 tens, 9 tens. That's 90 minus 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens, 4 tens, 5 tens, 6 tens, 7 tens, and 1, 2 ones. That equals a number. But wait, I don't have any ones over here. I'm going to have to regroup. So let me go over here. And so I need to make this 10 rod into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, that's one of the 10s. So that's 1 10, 2 10s, 3 10s, 4 10s, 5 10s, 6 10s, 7 10s, 8 10s, 9 10s. And I'm subtracting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens, and 2 ones. Let's see what that equals. Let's subtract through all this stuff here. Okay, I'm going to subtract 2 ones and take 2 ones over there. So we're done with the ones. I have 7 tens. Take all those off and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What do I have left right here? So I have, let's see, 110, 110, and how many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 18. So Matt buys 18 cards. So I validated the standard algorithm by breaking it apart and regrouping 10 rods in 1 unit. All right, we're on page 220 here still, and another word problem. What I want you to do is, first I want you to read through the problem, pick out the important information, circle it, underline it, and add that information to a number bond. Go ahead and pause the video while you do that. Okay, welcome back. All right, well, let's read through this first here. Nevi has some flowers. She then picks 18 more flowers. Now she has 43 flowers. How many flowers does Nevi have at the start? Oh, so show your work. Let's take a look at this. Nevi has some flowers. I'm going to circle that. Because she has some, and that's a part. She then, well, it could have been a whole, but let's just keep going through here. So then she picks 18 more. So that's where I get that information. So it's like, okay, well, that's the other part. Flowers that I had remembered from what I read before. Now she has, now she has 43 flowers. How many flowers does Nevi have at the start? I'm going to underline that. How many does Nevi have at the start? Show your work. Number bond. And off to the side. It's just to get in the habit of organizing this data here. So we have our whole, which is this right here. That's the whole. And then we have a part and a part. Because that's how many she has right now. Let's fill this out. So she has 43 flowers. And then one of the parts, she has 18. So we don't know how many she started with, but we know that she has 18. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna say she had some, and then she has 18. So let's just do that. Just keep our number bond connected with how it looks here in the problem. Okay, so what did she start with? She has a whole of 43, and then she added 18. But what did she start with? Well, let's do a number line this time. Open number line, arrows on each end. We start with our whole on the right, which is 43. And then 18 over here. Now, what I want to do is I want to make that 18 into a 20. So I'm making a 10. So I'm making that 8 into another 10 because I have one 10. To make this into another 10, it's 8 plus 2. So I do a 2 hop. And that's 20. So I'm adding 2. Now I have 2 10s and there's 4 10s over here. And I have 0 1s, so I can add. So how many 10s do I have to make 4 10s? So 2 10s plus 2 10s is equal to 40. So that's 2 10s is 20. And then going to go from 40 to 43, I'm adding 3. So now what I can do is I can take these numbers and say 2. Let's make it so I can go over here. 2, 20, and then 3. Adding all of those numbers together. Let's separate our place values, our 1s from our 10s. here. So 2 ones plus 3 ones is 5 ones. And 2 tens plus 0 other tens is 2 tens. So the number is 25. That's what she starts with. So again, we can come over here and say, Debbie starts with 25 flowers. But wait a minute, how do we validate this? Well, if we look at the number bond, we can say this part plus this part is equal to this part, or equal to the whole, or this part plus this part is equal to the whole. Well, let's go through and validate before we fill it, complete this number bond. So we know, so we have this part and part. Let's go back here. So we have one part is 43. Or, I'm sorry, that's the whole, right? Oh, wait a minute. I apologize. 43 is the hard part. One part is 18. The other part, if we add to it, that's 25. So this is just an addition problem. Let's set our boundaries here for our ones and our tens. So we're going to do a partial sum. So 8 plus 5 is, let's count on 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's 13. Cross this out because we've already done the ones. Okay. Now let's add up these tens here. So let's add them all up. You know we have 3 ones. We're going to have 1 plus 2 is 3 plus 1 more is 4. So now what we did is we validated this answer of 25 right here. So we can actually fill out our number bond as 25. All right, boys and girls. So that takes us through several different ways to do things. But let's take a look at another problem here. And this is one's a little bit different because it's given you multiple ways to find the solution. And if you recall how we worked with fact families, and again, this is still on page 220, that's where that number bond comes into play. So what I suggest that you do is whenever I see something like this where it's like, hey, wait a minute, there's different equations and it looks like they're using some of the same numbers. So number bond. All right. I want you to go through first, pull out the important information, try to fill out this number bond right here. Remember, this is the whole, part, and part. And pause the video. I want you to pull out the information, figure it out, and then come back and see if you got the correct answer. All right, welcome back. Let's read the problem here. Sherry has a new camera. She takes 27 pictures on Monday. She takes 35 pictures on Tuesday. Which equations could you solve to find how many pictures Sherry takes on the 2 days? Okay, so let's go back through here. Let's see here. Sherry has a new camera. She takes 27 pictures on Monday. She takes 35 pictures on Tuesday. And it says which equations, and I'm going to circle that, that's multiple. That means more than one. Equations could you solve to find how many pictures she takes on the 2 days? There we go. All right. So let's take a look at this. So we know that she's taken 27 pictures on one day and 35. So we don't know what on the next day, on Monday and on Tuesday. So we have the parts. We have 27. Make that 2 a little bit better. There we go. 27 and then 35. All right. So 27 plus 35 is equal The whole 35 plus 27 is equal to the whole. Well, let's go. Let's do that. Let's just do that. So let's say 20. So this is our fact family. 27 plus 35 equals something. Or it could be something equals 27 plus 35. We have that there. So this is a go. We can reverse the numbers. We can say something equals 35 plus 27. Because we say 35 plus 27 is equal to the whole. Do we have something? 35 minus 27? No. 35 plus 27, we did that, yes. Okay, so now let's take a look at this here. So we can have something, again, this is that something. Something minus 35 equals 27. Something minus 35 equals, oh, look at that. And then the last one here, we can have something minus 27, okay, is equal to 35. No, and so these are the three that work. These others, it doesn't, I don't see it here. 35 minus 27, no. 35 minus something. So 35 minus, it doesn't work that way. 35 minus 27 doesn't work that way. Because we're always taking the whole minus something. The whole minus something is equal to this number here. Okay, so this is a systematic method of trying to eliminate all of the problems that are not, so we're able to find all the ones that are. But you have to make sure that it says which equations. So that's multiple. It's more than one. Okay, let's move on to the next problem here. Okay, now we're getting into your practice problems. What I want you to do is let's take a look at this example here. And this is on page 221. So it says here, study the example showing how to use equations to solve word problems. Then solve problems 1 through 6. So example showing how to use equations. So these are equations, okay? So example here, Ted has some beads. Then he gets 18 more beads. Now Ted has 42 beads. How many beads does Ted have to begin with? Well, you can use addition. So he has some beads. Let's take a look at it. He has some beads. Then he gets 18 more. So I would say, off the bat, I would start out with an addition problem. And then it says, now Ted has 42 beads. So that's the whole. He has some, that's a part, plus a part, right? And there's a whole. So the total is the whole, so 42. He started out with some, he added some more, and equals 42, right? So 40, or you can use subtraction. It's the total, which is the whole, okay, 42, minus that change, minus this change here, is equal to what he started with. I see how they're doing this, but it's really difficult to get your numbers. So you have to rearrange them so a little bit to where they're linear. So it's 42. I'm going to do 42 minus 18. It equals a number. Always draw that line to separate my ones place value from my tens place value. Let's go through here. So when I look at the bottom number and the ones is place value is larger than the ones place value of the top number, that tells me I need to regroup. So I'm going to take that away. I'm going to make that 3. That's a 12. I take, or not 3, that makes that 3 tens. I add that 10 ones over here to the ones column to make that 12. Let's count on 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's going to be 4, right? Or you can subtract, go from 12 down to 8, but it's still going to be 4, because 8 plus 4 is equal to 12. I have 3 tens minus 1 10, that's 2 tens. There's 24, and that matches up here. Okay. There's your example on how to do things. I want you to go through and solve the remaining problems. I'll give you some help with this to read through it and to pick out some key information. Mrs. Tate has some fish in her fish tank. She buys 25 more fish. Now there are 73 fish in the fish tank. 1. Complete the model and the equations to show how many fish are in the fish tank at the start. Okay, next one. How many fish are in the fish tank at the start? Show your work. Page 222. Mrs. Lopez drives a number of miles north. Then she drives 34 miles west. She drives 93 miles in all. Complete the equation to show how many miles Mrs. Lopez drives north. 4. Complete the open number line and solve the problem to show your work. Okay, this is going to give you some information here on how you do the open number line. Page 222, number 5. Stella has some cards. Then she makes 13 more cards. How many? Now she has 41 cards. How many cards does Stella start with? Number 6. Write and solve the problem. Like problem 5, use different numbers. So instead of saying she makes 13 more cards, let's say she makes 8 more cards. And now she has, say, 52. So 52. Let's say that's the whole. This is a part, and we're trying to find another part, because that's unknown. All right. I think that's it. All right, boys and girls. Until next time.